So because of that, the United States, through George Washington, agreed to pay a certain amount of money to King George and them at the capitulation of Cornwallis to cease the hostilities, as well as the fact they had to pay money to the national general government that they didn't have to pay. So the national government created a position by which the national government, our people, the several states, the Confederated Congress, the Continental Congress, the Iroquois Confederacy, the Union of the Six Nations, the 5 civilized tribes, okay, you get it? The Moorish Empire, right? The Alamanicanos, Estados, you get it? So all of those people consolidated themselves together and manifested a perpetual trust, and that trust was put forth in the name of the United States of America and General Congress symbol. And then when this so-called fictitious federal state came up to take that position, it now had to take the weight of the fact that it did not have money to support its position as its own government. So it had to work for us up until they forfeited on the debt to England. And that's why in the War of 1812, they came and burned the Library of Congress down. George Thomas Jefferson upped the insurance on it the year before, and then they were able to start the reconstructive history from there. Because up to that point, when you read the constitutional papers and stuff, it basically says that everything is about republic, republic. Once the republic thing, the Federalists, it was anti-Federalist. When Jefferson came and introduced the democratic or demonstrative or demonstrative or Democratic Party, what he was doing was now setting that up to have the position to the face to look like it's there to help people, but behind the scenes is something else. That's why the ass or the donkey was used as a symbol for the Democratic Party, whereas the Republic was manifested or symbolized by the elephant, because that's the symbol of Hannibal, as well as Ganesh, as well as the old Moorish Empire of Alamanicanos Estados, established over here under Hannibal Bay, verified by the Bornstone in Chesapeake Bay, which basically positions this part of the world as connected to the old Grand Moorish Empire from time immemorial. So what our ancestors were then, we are today, and the only way they can get you to not be that is to accept an inferior designation, which would put you under their trusteeship, which then gives them the right to manage you. So if you don't want to be managed as an original Asiatic person, aka a Moorish American national, you have to understand what position you are really in, not only historically but also ancestrally. The Pope is coming here and he's only going to the historic capitals of the United States. Anytime you use historic capital of the United States of America, they talk about you and your republic. Because what we have to understand is, as Moors, we are the aboriginal white people. Go online and look up the definition under the Racial Code Index of what it takes to be a white person in the United States. And that means, when you read the definition, it says that you have to be of North African ancestry. So I don't know how somebody like George Bush could be more North African than me. You dig what I'm saying? Because he's listed as white. But he's only listed as white through the trusteeship that his ancestors set up for him. Because all of these Caucasian people are descended from a race of Caucasian people that were domesticated in the greater Moorish Empire under the Ottomans, under a system called the Janissary, that eventually developed into a Mameluke system by which you had Caucasian people who were raised up under Islam and used as soldiers of war to enslave other Caucasian people on behalf of the empire, so we wouldn't have to lose our people. And in the process of that, they were given limited dominion. These were called days. So these days set up what were called delegates. This is where you get the term delegate from. And the delegates is where the Caucasian slaves would be matured, so that way when people came from different parts of the empire to buy one, you know, they would already be made to know how to fight, things like that. And then Moors started to use these Mamelukes against each other in wars against each other, so that way they could disinherit and fight each other through proxy. So the same thing is going on today. The same way if I had a problem with you and you had a problem with me, you go to the police. See what I'm saying? So they occupy that position. Not us, but this is what people do. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, because you know people take it literal. So based on that, we, again, on one side are the descendants of the original republic. On the other side, we're descendants of the old Moorish Empire that helped spawn the republic from 1321. So therefore, like I said, when Khan Musa Okay, when Khan Musa locked everything down with the gold, that was the down payment, so that way perpetually wherever the Moors went throughout the world, our credit was good. We could work in full faith and credit. That system was transliterated between 1321 and 1774 into the United States of America and General Commerce Assembly. That's why the Sultan had to be consulted before they did anything, before anybody else in the world recognized it. That's why they had to assure the Sultan that he was going to get his money and all that stuff back after he had vouched for them to the Basha of Tunis and Algiers. So that put them in a perpetual debt they could never pay. So in that, the United States of America and General Commerce Assembly was able to now write checks or whatever in the name of the United States, and the United States would have to pay the money back, which they never had the money to do. So they had